This episode of 5 Minutes for Fighting is brought to you by DraftKings, and I'm a big NFL fan. It's one of my favorite sports to bet on. And right now, if you are a new DraftKings customer, go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, bet $5, get $150 of bonus bets instantly just by using promo code INSIDEFIGHTING. And if sports betting is not yet available in your state, it's not a big deal. You can always go to DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and get in on the action there. So if you guys want to bet on some NFL games, new customers, go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, bet $5, get $150 of bonus bets instantly. You just got to use promo code INSIDEFIGHTING. We are joined by Josh Emmett, featherweight in the UFC, coming off a huge win at UFC 296, an incredible knockout over Bryce Mitchell. Josh, congratulations, man. How you feeling?
I feel great. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. I lost my voice though, so hopefully you can understand me all right.
Yeah. Did you lose your voice when you were celebrating, or was it the night of, like, celebrating
I think it was
winning or celebrating
I
after?
yeah, I think it was a combination of everything.
Yeah.
For one, being in the casino for a week and all the smoke, and then of course the celebration in the octagon, and then afterwards with friends and family and no sleep and just having a good few days. So, but it's coming back.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You're in Vegas. So do you have to stay out of the casinos before you fight to make sure that you're not getting exposed to too much smoke and stuff like that?
No, because the host hotel was New York, New York. So it's like it's right in front of T-Mobile. And
Yeah.
so we tried to, stay out of the casino as much as possible, but it's tough. It's a smoking casino. I wish we would have stayed at Park MGM, because that's like the only no smoking casino on the strip. But it is what it is. It didn't affect me until literally Sunday. So I'm just glad that everything went according to plan.
So I'm guessing, so you saw Bryce's video, obviously. What was your impression of Bryce making that video afterwards? Because obviously that went viral. That was sort of the impressions were crazy on it, and it was just, as somebody, I live on the internet. It was all over the place. So what was your reaction to Bryce making that video, and how did did you reach out to him privately or just on social media?
Yeah, no, I saw that, and it's man, he's such an honorable guy, and he like I've been saying all fight week and stuff like that. He's genuinely a good person. Him and his coaches, and kind of what you see online from him, what you see in the octagon, like that's him. When we were doing the ceremonial weigh-ins backstage, and it's like I was talking to him and his coach, and they were just so respectful. And then again, I ran into Bryce before we fought, like in the casino. We're kind of like crossing paths, and then the first thing he says to me is, "God bless you today, brother." And I'm like, man, how am I supposed to go get in a fight with this guy? He's so
Right.
damn. Um, but yeah, no, I'm glad he's okay. Like I wish him nothing but the best. And yeah, like you said, it was a violent, brutal knockout. But at the end of the day, that's why people buy the pay-per-views. That's why people buy the tickets to the event. They want to see violence. They want to see fights. It's two grown men going into, or women going into a cage to fight for our lives.
Yeah.
Once that cage door is locked, I'm trying to do that every single time, but I do wish my opponent the best. I wish him nothing but the best. And yeah, everything went perfect. We finished the year strong, and I'm really looking forward to 2024.
Yeah, I mean, he mentioned not following up with extra punches, and then was looking at a little bit of your highlight reel, and that seems to be sort of a common theme because it's actually happened a few times before. So, is that something that you are actively mentally like considering when you're fighting, or is it just like, is it cooler to have a one punch knockout, or is it something that you actually do consider when that situation happens ahead of time?
No, it's definitely something I consider. I know a lot of fighters say, "Oh, you got to keep hitting them until the ref pulls them off," and that may be the case for some. If you drop them and they're still coherent and they're trying to get up or defend themselves, you have to follow up, and I've done that as well. But I feel like when I land these hard, clean shots, and I see my opponent falling down, I'm not going to follow up with any unnecessary punishment, because just alone how hard I hit them, and then when their head smacks the canvas too, that could be career ending. And if I fall, I could have hit him a good, who knows, 3 to 5 times hard unanswered punches. But I've done this several times. I'm very aware of what's going on in the octagon when I'm fighting, just because I've been doing it so long. I'm so calm and composed. I hear my opponent's coaches, I hear my coaches, and I'm just kind of, I'm very aware. So I don't black out. I don't see tunnel vision, just red like some people talk about. Um, but I was, I went in there, I did my job, and I was celebrating, which I have the right to. And then,
Yeah.
I saw that he was still down, and then that's when I decided to take a knee and just, pray that everything goes well and he comes back, and no lingering injuries.
Is that the scariest fight you've ever been a part of personally, just in your time doing MMA? Is that the scariest situation that you've seen personally in a fight you've been involved in? Not other fights, just one you've been involved in.
Yeah, I would have to say so, because I've had
Yeah.
some brutal knockouts and TKOs, but
Yeah.
nothing. I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, just it's with like when he had like the seizure, or when he
Yeah.
was convulsed. That was definitely something different. But my first amateur fight ever, I knocked a guy out bad, and he was unconscious. It's got to be over 5 minutes. That was a pretty scary one as well.
What do you have to say when people call you the featherweight Ngannou? Do you see yourself as the featherweight Ngannou because of that power that you possess at 145?
Yeah, no, it's funny. I feel like I am the, the I know I'm the hardest hitting featherweight in the division. I set the records for most knockdowns in featherweight history. People said I'm the featherweight Ngannou, the Mark Hunt. People
Yeah.
call me the white Mike Tyson.
I
So
love it. Love it.
yeah, it's awesome. Like the, all those guys are legends of the sport. So and pioneers. So it's like, yeah, it's awesome when people are comparing me to things like that.
So I guess that leads my next question is, because Bryce is obviously super talented. What do you think Bryce should do? Because some people do think he might actually be a little small for 145. Do you think he should move down to 135, or do you think he is a natural featherweight? Just what do you think next for him? Because he's obviously very talented.
Yeah, only him and his coaches can make that decision. But no, I don't think he's like a small guy. He's 5'10". He's I don't know. I don't know how much he cuts, but I think he's fine at 45s. His only loss is to myself and Ilya
Right.
in the division. So it's I think he'll do just fine. He just needs to take a little time off, and then get back to work, and he'll bounce back.
Love it. Yeah, you mentioned Ilya. It's so I guess I want to know because that's a pretty impressive performance, and you know how the UFC they like to reward impressive performances like that. And you were knocking at the you were knocking at the door for a title shot. You got the interim shot, obviously. So you're technically one fight away from facing Volk. How many more fights do you think you would need to get back to a title shot? Because I mean, it's possible that a performance like that could put you right back in that conversation.
Yeah, no, I feel like timing's everything. So those are fights that I want back. I had the two biggest fights of my career, and they just didn't go my way. And I can't make excuses, but I want those back. I'm
Yeah.
back to doing everything um, that got me to the show. I'm back to my wrestling, my jujitsu, whereas before I was just boxing and had some things going on. So it's like I want those fights back so bad. But I do think maybe I'm one fight away for fighting for the title, just depending on who they give me. That's why I'm saying I want my clearest path to the title. So you may as well give me the number one contender. Otherwise, if something happens, with the Volk or Ilya or something like that, and you never know if someone gets injured and I could step in. Of course, I would take that opportunity as well. But yeah, we'll kind of see what happens and how things play out. But I'm excited for their fight, and I want to get back to that championship bout.
So who do you got in that fight between Alex Volkanovski and Ilya Topuria?
Yeah, so it's tough for me to predict fights just because these guys are so talented and that they're at the top of their game. But it's Ilya Taporia is a young, hungry, undefeated prospect. I feel like he feels like he's invincible because he is undefeated. I remember I felt that way when I was undefeated, and it can benefit you, really boost your confidence, but it can also hinder you because you've never suffered defeat or loss. Whereas Volkanovski comes from a great camp, great teammates, coaches are going to come up with a phenomenal game plan, and so will Ilya's camp. But and it's just hard for me to predict that
Yeah.
fight. I could argue how both fighters win, but I'm super excited for it. I definitely want to get that fight back against Ilya, and it would be an honor to fight one of the pound for pound greats.
Yeah, so I guess, and then you also got supposedly there's a report that I'm not sure if this is confirmed. Apologize if you know something I don't, but that Ortega and Yair would be fighting. So that's another possibility where like maybe you could fight the winner of that. That would be the next title eliminator would be. So I'm guessing you'd want that fight back as well if Yair would end up winning.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
There's a few fights that I that I want back, and I want to
yeah,
do them in Vegas. I don't want to do them out of the country or somewhere else. Let's do them in the fight capital of the world. And yeah, no, that would be awesome. I'm willing to fight whoever it takes, whoever's going to get me to the title fight again. So whether it's the winner of that fight, or it's Max Holloway, the number one contender,
right.
or something else happens, and I could fill in. Hey, I'll do whatever it takes.
So who would you, if it ends up being the winner of Volk or Topuria, who would you rather fight? Would you rather take Topuria because you want that rematch, or would you rather fight Volk because of the legacy aspect of it, because of how what a great run he's been on at featherweight?
Yeah, in a perfect world, I honestly don't care who it is. Whoever
Yeah,
has that title, that's like I have no grudges against anything or no ill
right,
will against anyone. It's just I whoever has the title, that's who I want to fight. So in a perfect world, probably be Volkanovski, because he's been such a dominant champion. In my eyes, he's the featherweight goat. There's when I think of the best featherweights in the UFC, I think of Volkanovski, Holloway, and of course Jose Aldo.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, it would probably be going against Volkanovski, and then maybe later on defending it against Ilya and getting that win back.
Love it. Josh, you are the man. Congratulations on your win at UFC 296. The last thing I want to end with, we're wrapping up 2023. You got any New Year's resolutions for 2024, or any sort of like plan of where you see yourself at the end of next year, same time next year?
Yeah, 2024 is going to be my year. I'll be the UFC featherweight champion of the world,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, that's what I'm gunning for. I'm going to make a solid run at this, and that's the plan. All my like sponsors and everyone that like supports me, you guys can also check out joshemmett.com, and I'm actually doing a limited edition merch drop with full violence MMA, and
Right. Saw that.
that's all my social media platforms. So some pretty cool shirts. So you guys got to check those out as well.
Josh, I'm going to be rooting for you because you are one of my favorite fighters. I love watching you fight. So I'm happy to see your success. And yeah, whatever comes next, I'll be in your corner, bro.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yep. Hey, thanks for your time.
Anytime.
All right, bro.
Have a good Christmas.
Yeah, you too. Happy holidays.